Okay, I got something to say about the burden of proof. Now, I'm here to say there's no such thing as a burden of proof. The popular line by atheists is that if you're making a claim, then you're the one who's burdened with proof. You're the one that has to prove it. And always referring to this flying spaghetti monster, celestial teapots and stuff like that. That's just stupid. There is no burden of proof. I believe what I believe, and I'm in no way burdened to prove it to you. And I've heard many atheists make the claim that there is no God. There is no God, just face it. I hear that all the time. But isn't that making a claim? Isn't that making a claim that there is no God? You know, stating it as a fact. So wouldn't that make you burdened with proof? See, proof doesn't mean anything. What is. And proof or lack of proof doesn't really matter. It doesn't change truth. But see, science isn't interested in truth. Science has redefined the term truth and theory. Or fact and theory, I should say. They've redesigned theory to say that it's merely a way of showing the characteristics of a fact. See, but first you have to have that fact. I hear about evolution all the time. That evolution is a fact, and the theory of evolution is just a mechanism for describing this. Well, I'm not biting on that one. Every time I hear an atheist talk, they're talking about, when they start talking about science, they're always talking about evolution. Why don't I ever hear an atheist talking about quantum physics? Because in my opinion, that's where you're going to find God. Now, I'm not a quantum physicist, but I've read a lot on the subject. It fascinates the hell out of me. Now, intelligent design. Okay, that's another one. Now, Behe said, he made these claims about the flagellum, that if irreducible complexity, if you take away one part, it won't function. So then they had this trial, trying to get it into the schools, and Miller, I believe, was the guy that was the clincher in the trial, the last guy to come up, and he comes up and he says, well, what you say is wrong, because here we not only taken away one part of the flagellum, we've taken away 40 parts, and it still functions as a syringe that bacteria uses to infect other cells, or a cell uses to infect other cells. And okay, well, 40 parts. You didn't address what if you just take one. If you just take one, it won't function. You had to take 40. If you didn't take all 40 parts, then you wouldn't have got the results that you were after. A car is loaded with nuts and bolts, and you can't tell one bolt from the other, just except by where it's placed. So saying that because everything's built of the same building blocks that evolution could have caused it. Okay, well, what did it do with all them steps in between the syringe and the flagellum stage? Seems to me that it's still the same argument. I don't think anything was really proven in that trial. So now, if you were to claim something evolved and the fossil record shows it, I always hear how the fossil record shows it. Why is it that we have these missing pieces? Oh, they're not missing. I always hear it now. Nothing's missing. We find intermediate species all the time, transitional species. Yeah, right. You would have to show me fossils of a species in every form, like when you see a tadpole transforming into a frog. Okay, when I would have to see a species. I would have to see a species here, here, and here, that the one in the middle, I can't really tell the difference between that one and that one, or this one and this one. But I can see a difference between this one and this one. You see what I'm saying? It would have to be so minute that, and then you would have to have every stage in between these other stages. And I don't see it. See, I'm constantly hearing that, oh, well, we're going to find all these stages in between, and evolution's been proven. The world is 4 billion years old, or whatever the claim is. You can't prove that. I mean, even if you presented proof, you couldn't prove it. I mean, you hear a lot of young Earth creationists that say the world was created 6,000 years ago, and but it was created to look older. That's a little far-fetched, don't you think? But then again, how do you know? How do you know that's not the case? I mean, you can't prove that the world is not a week old, that nothing existed before a week ago, but we were created with all of our memories intact. You can't prove that anybody outside of your own head exists. You can't prove that everything you're experiencing now is not just a dream in your head. You can't prove any of it. See, like I said, science is not concerned with truth. Philosophy is the basis for science. Without philosophy, science would have no ideas. Would not even know what to go looking for. So I mean, think about it. Was the atom like non-existent before we knew about it? No. But if somebody would have told you about it, you would have said they were nuts, because it made no sense. You couldn't see it. But it's there. See? And now dig down deeper than the atom. Everything in existence is false. It doesn't even exist. It's not physical. And the atheist, materialistic model of the universe is the wool that's pulled over your eyes, because the material in the universe, the stuff of the universe, is consciousness. Everything's made of light and energy. So the material in the universe is a non-material substance. And it's not even a substance. It's a conscious construct. It's a construct of the consciousness. What consciousness? Maybe God's consciousness.